Welcome to the Wealth Ninja Show, and this morning we have Grant and one of the Ninja coaches, and we've got special guests, May and Nathan, on the show. Welcome to the show, and thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you very much for having us.
I got to ask you the question, how do you get your name to be May, M-A-Y?
Because I was born in May. My first name's actually Daphne.
Okay.
So
I must say, this is the first time I met a May woman, so you must be quite unique. Well, I was born on the road, so I'll just tell you a quick story about me. My name is Don, but my Vietnamese name is Duong. That spells D-U-O-N-G. And when I was growing up here in New Zealand, I decided I want to be a household name in the country. So most school teachers, they pronounce my name, they can't. So some of my physics teacher will call me D, and it got a bit funny afterwards, so I decided to take the U and the G off, so it becomes Don, and ever since I become Don, and so my real name is not Don, but when my son was born, I decided to call him Don because just in case people say there isn't a real Don Ha, but I said there is, he's at home and he's in heaven, so you've got to wait for a little while to meet him.
That's very good.
So anyway, firstly, how long have you guys been investing? And you meet Grant through his mentoring program, and when did that start? How did it start? Start with you, mate.
Oh, well, I have been investing in the inner city properties since 2007.
Right.
Between 2007. So in the last 3 years, we've been it's really great to go to Grant's group.
Okay, and
going back in time, sorry, Don, you always knew that property was a great investment vehicle from way back.
Yes.
How many years back did you first out?
My marriage broke up in the 87, and then I was left with nothing really. And for me to get my first property, I lived in Lower Hutt. That was before I met Nathan, and I managed to get. It was really, really difficult for a woman to borrow. Nobody would loan me any money, and I had 2 children. So I got really annoyed that the men, although in my life, could just carry on with their jobs.
Yes.
And here was me. I worked and I made, paid tax. So I put on my deep voice and I rang the banks. And I got dressed up like a man as much as I could. I was about 45, I guess.
Wow.
And just kept going to the banks until somebody would loan me enough money.
You know, I was quite touched by what you said, your marriage breakup, because part of the Wealth Ninja is when people come to us, we don't really care how much money they lose, because we have the ability to recover all their losses and shortcut the process. So it might sound hard, but I have done it for many clients, so I'm really glad to hear that story. And Nathan, so what role, you two are business partners?
Yes. So back then, the first house I bought was in January 1990.
Right.
In Lower Hutt. And
how much was it then?
139,000.
Amazing.
What would that house be worth today?
What would it be worth today, the little house, Nathan? 450 or so.
400 enough.
Okay.
Right.
And I got a flatmate in to help pay the mortgage, and the flatmate brought Nathan round one day. So that's when I met Nathan, January 1990.
And you've been investing ever since together?
Yes, and I gradually kept buying till I had 4 properties in Wellington, and shifted up here in 96.
Okay.
And
so you did all of that without any guidance and advice, right, in the early days?
Well, the first one, but then when Nathan came, he said to me, "Is this your house?" And I said, "Oh, me in the bank." And he said, "You can't make any money on the house that you own that you live in." And I said, I was really annoyed because I didn't know who he was, and I said, "Are you telling me I should rent this house out and buy the house next door?" And he said, "That's right." And I said, "If you knew how hard it was to do this, you wouldn't say that."
Yeah.
However, that's what I did. I ended up, I've rented since 96, since I shifted to Auckland. So.
And what was Nathan? What was your role in your first purchase of properties? Like, where was your first property that you bought in?
I bought my first property when I was 20.
That's a pretty good effort.
In Wainua Mata,
Yep.
Wellington.
Okay.
For 85,000.
You still got that property now, or?
No. I track it though. It's worth 250 to 300,000.
Okay, yeah. So you two are now full-time in investing in the CBD apartment specialists?
Yes.
So what was your experience? How long ago you met Grant through his mentoring program?
Well, we brought properties together 11 years ago,
Right.
which were apartments. So because we were already buying apartments, and we saw he was doing a training on a apartment focus
Okay.
investing.
Yeah. And what's that involved? Like, is that a weekly meeting, Grant?
Yes, we meet every Tuesday from 10 till 3. And
Okay.
we run our numbers on the apartments. May and Nathan, did some great purchases before they met me, and some average purchases. So, we've really balanced those out with some fantastic purchases in the last 3 years. But at least they did something. You took some action and you purchased something, and they, the good ones are turning into very, very good deals.
Did you find out buying an apartment is easier than, say, choosing what you wear this morning? The decision making the right deal, you make it in 5 minutes instead of saying what dress I'm going to wear, what earring I'm going to put on, and what suit you're going to wear. Has it become like that?
In our business together, I leave Nathan to do all the money side,
Yes.
and I do them up.
Okay.
I make them look very beautiful.
But if you see a good deal, how fast would you make a decision through Grant's advice and done all your numbers, and would you make a decision
Within 24 hours.
24 hours? Is that too long or that too short?
I think it's average.
Oh my, most people think about it for a month or 2 years before they make
That's
a decision. Would they? 24 hours to go and buy property is pretty good going. So Grant, what made May and Leighton become a successful student through your program compared to, a non-performing student, or say a person that's not in the program? What's the difference between?
It's when I first met May and Nathan, they were go-getters, they were action takers, and it's so much more enjoyable to deal with people who are out there taking action and getting results than sitting back and doing nothing. And May and Nathan are out there every day. They're on the phone, they're on emails, they're looking at things, they're talking to real estate agents, they're talking to property managers, they're managing their renovations, all that sort of thing. They just literally don't stop. And,
Wow.
and it's fantastic being engaged with people like that in any industry. Same as yourself, I'm sure, Don.
So you two you don't have a day job. Your day job is property. Just that's it.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you look on the net, read the paper, ring the agent, go and see it, buy it, do it up, keep it, sell it. Wow, what a dream job that is! Or what do you call that, a job? I don't think it's a job. What do you call that? A passion?
Yes, it's and I'm 73 now, so
Wow, really?
I've got
Congratulations.
4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren, and they can't keep up with me either.
It's amazing.
If you're 73, then you qualify for the pension, right?
Yes.
But you don't even need it.
Oh, but it's fun.
But you're
That's
entitled to it.
And it's fun. That's what I use for. I use it for the grandchildren and
My mother, it's so funny. She's 86.
Yes.
She wears a Rolex. She wears a diamond ring. She wears whatever she wears. She goes to the doctor, and what she does, she gets a gold card out. She gets a discount, and then she withdraws her pension every week, and she buys lotto. And then in case she wins, she'll give it to me.
And she's 85, you said.
It's 86, yeah.
Oh, he's 86.
And my father, he's 84, and just last fortnight he we have a very big family. There's about 80 something of us. Some of the nephew and nieces were born, and I don't even know until we have a family function. And my sister-in-law asked my father to go and change a tire for her last week, and he bent down, changed his tire, and the blood stopped going to his heart, and then we had to rush him to the hospital. So we requested the doctor to ban him from driving now for good. But he doesn't understand English that well, so they banned him for a month. I said, you've been banned for life, so... So now we've got to get a taxi to drive him around because we want him to be around,
Yeah.
Yes.
So wow, that's the sort of thing that we have to prevent now for our parents.
Yeah.
So that was my sort of like experience with the pension. I have another client that's also similar age to you, and wow, she's amazing. She did a deal, and she made 1.3 million in 90 days, not in a year, not in a lifetime. And I always remember she said, I refuse to go into pension, and that's just her motto. That's what she does. So well done.
I just think that when I got to 65, I went down to Takapuna to work in income where I'd never been, and there was a little wee Filipino guy, and I walked in and I said, I've just come to get John's lunch money, because John Key was the Prime Minister
Yes.
then. Oh, he said, he shook his head and he said, I think it's just coffee money now, dear.
I am so overwhelmed that you're 73. You should become the New Zealand super grandma investment superhero, and shame on the 50-year-old people out there. Look at you. You full-time investing. You're doing deals. You're getting out there. You do it. I salute you, mate, for doing what you do.
We go to auctions every week, and we see the same people each week turn up these auctions, and they never buy anything. And May and Nathan are there buying on a regular basis, and it's just incredible. And you've got two investors here taking action when you've just got all these hundreds of other people just going to auctions and open homes and they do nothing.
So let me ask you this question, Nathan and May. If someone now asks you, they offer you a job and they say, I'll give you 100,000 a year, you're going to work for 50 hours a week, you get a company car, you get a standard holiday pay, would you take the job?
No.
Definitely not.
Well, wow, that's exactly what property can do for you, and that's exactly what Grant through Wealth Venture can assist you furthermore. You know, like I read about the Fonterra CEO, and he was on $5 million a year. I don't know, I can't remember his name now. Is he still CEO? Maybe not, because he just lost another so many hundreds of millions. And I just thought, even if they pay me $5 million to run Fonterra, I want to work for them, because I'm confined to a job. I got to report to everybody, and I got to work day and night, leave my family, travel the world, and stay in hotels by yourself, do a public speaking engagement, and get abused by a public when you lose the money. I will not take that job for $5 million, because the freedom of me for doing what I'm doing, anytime, anywhere. And I asked you the same question: would you take the job? You just said no. And what's the reason for saying no?
You'd have to report to a boss. Someone else is making a profit on what you're doing.
Right.
As in property, you can either make the profit or loss, of course.
Yes.
At least you're 100% in charge of it.
And May, what? Well, you don't need a job anyway. You got the pension. But let's just say you didn't get a pension.
It would be very difficult to live on the pension.
Yes, of course. But
I think one of our secrets is that we both rent properties ourselves.
Right.
And instead of
put all your money into.
And somebody said to me, "Well, why don't you buy this house that you live in?" And I said, "The rent I pay, about 30,000 a year, wouldn't even touch the sides of the interest I'd need to pay, and then I'd have to do all this, look after the house."
I wish I can have 73-year-old in this studio talk exactly how you talk. How much can we change this country? How much can we change this retirement issue that we're facing? People winching that, $175, $300 a week, not enough. Look at you. I mean, that you're going to be our superhero. I truly believe you're going to be our superhero, because you have to inspire other people, even younger people, but you inspire 50-year-old, 60-year-old, or 40-year-old. How is it that you can do more than a 40-year-old?
Well, it's Nathan. Ever since I've known him, he hasn't changed. We've known each other nearly 30 years.
Right.
And his brain works different to mine. I think that's probably why we get on well in business, because we're opposite. And I never stop talking, and he plays chess and doesn't talk at all.
And what are some of the best deals that you've done?
The 5-bedroom, 2-bathroom one. That one.
Yep.
Periods deals that make profit.
Mount Street was good. You've held one in Hobson Street, that 1 bedroom in the car park there. That's a good long-term hold. That'll come through really, really well. What else have you held lately?
Well, we're holding the one in Anzac but that's until the.
Yep, yeah, just renovating.
Yeah.
Yep, Anzac Ave. That's right. And you've done your couple of Mount Streets, done a few in there, which is good. Yeah.
So what you say through property investing now, Nathan, made that you're not worried about your what's so called your retirement or whatever. You got it. You got it in place. You got it cemented. You got it concreted. That life is good from here onwards.
It's covered anyway.
It's
But
covered.
it's
And-
covered.
Yeah, just moving on through that, Nathan, you're going to where are you going to shortly? You just got your
I'll
passport
Go
sorted,
to Las Vegas,
and how many times have you been to Las Vegas?
12 or 13.
Yeah.
Wow, what's
Yeah.
down there? Or up there?
Big buildings,
Right.
apartments. is what's
Okay.
in.
So the investing's given you flexibility in your time, is what
Yes.
what Don was saying
Yes.
Yeah.
previously earlier. And so where did you go just last week, May?
Oh, I went over. I've been down to Palmerston North.
You drove all the
And
way to
I
Palmerston
drive, and
North.
I
Yeah.
went
Wow.
down to
All
my
the way there and
son's
back.
partner. It was her birthday, so I
Yeah.
drove down on the Saturday.
Oh,
And
good
how
on
And
you.
hours?
Sunday with them, it was about 8 hours. The road
Yeah.
was blocked, and I had to
Yeah.
go through Taupo.
Mm.
And when I came back on Monday, I thought I had papers to sign at the lawyer, so nobody else was awake. So it was just after 6 or so, and I just left. And it was 7 hours straight coming back.
That's amazing.
And
Yeah.
no, but most people wouldn't
No.
No,
do that.
not even me. I chose to fly. You know,
Well-
I fly to Wanganui the other day on Air Jetam, so I go past the Air New Zealand plane, and that was a big one. So I thought, wow, okay, that's pretty cool. But they said, no, it's not that one. And I went to the other one. It was like only a 30-seater. And I asked for a window seat, and they said, it's all window seats.
Well, I normally fly down for something short like that too, but I had this massive big pot plant thing that I was giving Lorene, and so Nathan had helped me put it in the car, so I thought, well, I can't fly with it.
Right.
And I've just booked going down to Dunedin. A lot of my family down south. That's where I come from,
Okay.
south of Dunedin.
And finally,
So-
what would you advise some of the audience out there through Wealth Venture and through Grant for coaching people to get property? Would you recommend it? Would a system to fast track their knowledge and assess deals and structures and connections that Grant has been helping you with?
Definitely.
Right.
And I guess, as Nathan would say, some people are short-term thinkers and some are long-term thinkers. So we have to think long-term. So, and I say, don't you think I'll be 85 by the time that this one goes through or something? But
Yeah.
I think it keeps me young as well.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
probably worth more money than
Yeah,
any
that's
money you make.
And Nathan, you can say, you can talk.
Yeah, obviously having a system and a system that gets the knowledge faster.
Yep.
But as you pointed out right at the beginning of the interview, most people have all the knowledge, but they still don't take the action.
Yep.
So action without knowledge is the same as having no knowledge.
Well, that's a pretty powerful statement. Well, look, thank you very much for coming on a Saturday morning, and congratulations on a great combination. And May, in particular, I want to put you on stage on November 10th. I'm so
You
inspired
want to
by
put me
you.
where?
On stage in front of
Oh,
400
okay.
people.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to
don't mind.
interview
That'll
you.
be good.
And then you're going to become the superhero investor that inspires every people in the country that we have. So thank you for coming on.
I went
Great.
to the B&Z the other day, and when I walked in, Anne behind the counter said, "Oh, I wish I was brave like you," she said. And I said, "What do you mean?" I didn't know what she was talking about. She said, "Buying property."
Yeah.
And I said to her, "Do you mind me asking what age you are?" And she said, "Oh, I think," she said, "she was 62. So I said, "What are you going to do?" "Oh," she said, 10 years ago we looked at a house. 5 years ago we looked at a house. But they still won't do anything. They'll end up with a very big house that they have,
Yeah.
that they keep doing things to. But at the end of the day, when they get older, they won't have have income. That's the biggest thing I've noticed, is you've got to have income coming in to give yourself your lifestyle.
Yes.
You know, one of
Yep.
the when you mentioned the word B and Z, I have a very good person that worked for the BNZ, and she followed my program in 5 years, and she texted me, I think last year, she said, I follow your program, and I had a goal to pay my mortgage up in 5 years, and I have now achieved it. Now, that's pretty overwhelming for someone that works for the bank.
Yes.
Coming through our program, paid their mortgage up 5 years, because all our mortgage is 25 years, but paid it on 5 years. I actually put it on my Facebook. I didn't mention any names, but it just reminded me of that person. So that's what we can do. We can fast track.
Yes.
You know, the mortgage is 25 years, but you can pay it up in 3 or 5 years. That's what we do. Well, thank you very much, and look, enjoy your time visiting the open home, climb the stairs, and have fun. And we're looking forward to see you on the 10th of November.
Great, thank you.
All right.